This is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1, and I would like to discuss exploitation of a dead guy. Now, we are beginning to see preliminary actions when it comes to the Blanchard case. There's been all sorts of things that have happened last week in regards to her trial, and there has been a plea entered, there's been a charge entered, there's been the appointment of legal counsel, there's been requests made for information, all sorts of things. And I'm going to discuss these things on a special murder-thon on this coming Thursday, tomorrow, December 3rd. And I'm going to go over the paperwork that I've finally been able to get my hands on, and what's going to happen as we move forward. Now, in another bit of a twist, I have noticed that a certain conspiracy theorist is exploiting a dead guy, namely that of Chris Hallett. Now, Chris Hallett, as everybody knows, had this habit of filing rather quirky paperwork. And it's interesting to go through one of the blogs articles that the conspiracy theorist wrote because of a name that keeps coming up. And it's a name that's probably going to get into some prominence as the Blanchard case moves forward, because it is the person that is alleged to have gotten Blanchard involved with E-Clause to begin with. Now, the problem here is that there might be some exculpatory evidence introduced by the defense that was generated by both this particular blogger, conspiracy theorist, and the woman whose name appears on all these documents. The woman that is known as the Conspiracy Nuts handler, and the woman that is known to be behind the creation of the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. And so, these people are going to be in for some interesting times. And the conspiracy theorist might finally have an opportunity to come to the state of Florida. But the conspiracy theorist went from calling this guy a fraud, made a video where he called the guy a fraud, to now supporting everything he does. Kind of interesting how this mind of this conspiracy nut works. But it's there. It's there on my blog, where I have a recording that I made of his statement for all to hear. Correction, I should say a recording that was provided to me. I didn't make the recording. It was made by somebody else and provided to me. But it gets into the mindset of this person and how he exploits people, places, and events. Now, another thing that came out in his various conspiracy posts, and that is, he brought up the fact that I had been to the scene of the crime. I drove to Ocala to the residence where the murder occurred, and I took pictures of the outside of the residence. I also did a video in real time of where I drove to the scene of the crime. I also did a real-time video of when I went to the Marion County Sheriff's Office, the investigative agency who was looking into the murder of Chris Hallett, and I asked them a series of questions and got answers. And then I left and returned to Orlando. Now, the conspiracy theorists made a statement that law enforcement should question me, they should examine my electronics, communications, and so on and so forth. And this is kind of funny because I was at the Marion County Sheriff's Office. The Marion County Sheriff's Office had ample opportunity to question me. They still have. Because unlike the conspiracy theorist, I'm not in hiding. I don't conceal where I'm at. I don't make claims that there's this vast national conspiracy against me. I'm out in the open. People know where I'm at just about every minute of every day. The police department would know if they wanted to. You know, they could go out and get a warrant to track my phone, to put a GPS monitor on my car. I don't care. 99 times out of 100, I am at law enforcement doing research on various criminal investigations that are going on. Almost on a daily basis. So if law enforcement wants to question me about anything, I'm right there. I'm sitting right there talking to them. So the conspiracy nut is just being the blowhard that he is. He accuses people of doing things that they have not said or done. Now, the conspiracy theorist, on the other hand, where's he at? Is he even still alive? Are the entries we see in these blogs his writing or somebody writing pretending to be him? We really don't know, because you don't see the conspiracy theorists. You don't even see pictures of him. You know, he's invisible. He's in hiding. He's afraid to go to the Polk County Sheriff's Department in East Grand Forks, Minnesota. He's afraid to go to the East Grand Forks Police Department. He's afraid to go to the state of Minnesota for fear of being arrested. He's in hiding. Or he's tied to a cinder block in a lake somewhere. Or he's fertilizer in a cornfield somewhere. He's invisible. And yet, this ghost makes declarations that people ought to be questioned by law enforcement. The person that has a criminal history, that if anybody chooses to do so, they can do a background check on this guy and see a rap sheet a mile long. Burglary, arson, drug use, driving under the influence of alcohol, all kinds of interesting things in this guy's background. They do a background on me, check on me, they're going to find nothing. Zero, zip, nada. Not so much as a parking ticket. And yet this idiot has this declaration that I should be questioned. But I'm not dodging it. I'm not saying, yeah, come on, bring it on. Any law enforcement in the world, whether it be in the United States or in a foreign country or in any city, county, wherever, they can question me anytime. I don't care. I have nothing to hide. I'm not going around screaming sheer law and fake courts and all this other baloney. I'm living my life. You know, I'm living free, not fearing anything, because I have nothing to fear. I haven't done anything to be scared of. I have not committed a crime. That cannot be said for our friendly neighborhood conspiracy nut. So as long as this conspiracy nut continues to be in hiding, quivering in fear over being arrested, if he goes into the state of Minnesota. We have to wonder why people continue to believe his rantings, his colossal lies, this so-called third in line to the President of the United States, this quote-unquote award-winning investigative reporting that doesn't do any investigating. All he does is take the work of others and turns it into his own. It's a question of credibility. It's who are you going to believe? A guy that has absolutely no criminal history, or a guy that has confessed to criminal activity, who has confessed to being a pyromaniac, to starting fires, that refuses to explain why he has a burglary charge against him, why he was charged with trespassing at one time. All these criminal charges that pop up when you do a background check. He's yet to explain any of this. Instead, he accuses the entire state of Minnesota, the entire state of Florida, various judges of all kinds of things. But he doesn't take the blame for anything himself. He claims to be important, imperfect, and free of any guilt. That's your advocate, folks. That's the people that's the person, I should say, that people believe in and listen to. I mean, some people, a very small group of people that pay attention to this idiot. That's how strange the world is. You can always find one person out there that believes you. And we're a planet of 3 billion people, so it's ample opportunity for this conspiracy nut to find a home someplace. It's just the way things work. But now, reality's about to set in. The Blanchard case is starting to move forward. And I'm almost certain that certain things are going to come out as this case progresses. That people are going to wish they hadn't made statements on blogs, made statements on YouTube and other places. That are going to wind up in court. That are going to wind up as discovery. Should be an interesting year that's coming up. Where we're going to see what happens when somebody gets exploited and how that could blow up in your face. So stay tuned as we start this three-ring circus of a trial. This is William K. Murtaugh, Mark Witness 1. Have a good one.